All right. Give it a minute here. Hopefully get through the commercial. Let me know when you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me okay now? All right, cool. All right, well, how's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. We're going to be talking about staying calm and keeping our heads right now. So we're going to be talking about that tonight with everything going on. And I can see why a lot of people are losing their minds. And, but again, we're going to talk about a lot of different things tonight. So before we get started, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. So please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you have any questions, all cap locks, please. And if you don't behave, those awesome moderators that you see lit up in blue will boot you out of here. Okay, so just, don't waste the time in thinking you're going to be special and you're not going to get knocked out. So anyway, if we have any interruptions with the stream, I will get right back on. So just so you guys know, last couple streams have been an absolute nightmare. So I'm hoping that we don't have that problem tonight, but we will see what happens. So I want to address something because before we really get started on this, somebody had made the comment of, do you think this is by design and he's doing this on purpose to try to get more views and blah, blah, blah. All right, so the way YouTube works, guys, you have to have at least an 8-minute video, be it a stream or a video or whatever the case may be, before they'll put more commercials on it. Now, you might get a commercial in the beginning, but in order to make money realistically on a video, it has to be at least 8 minutes long. Now, if you go and look at the last one we did, the longest one before we finally got to take 6, and take 6 ended up being the whole thing, which was great, was like 5 minutes was the longest one. So it's like, I absolutely am not doing this on purpose. And people keep saying, oh, it's definitely your internet. This doesn't happen to anybody else. It's not my internet, okay? So just putting that out there ahead of time so people know. I'm doing something different tonight to see if that is the cause of the problem. So I won't say what it is, but I'm doing something a little bit different tonight. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the stream goes, and hopefully we have no issues. You have to understand something too. When a stream is interrupted and bopped off, a lot of times people don't come back. Now, obviously, a lot of people do come back, but a lot of times people will just say, oh, forget it, I'm not doing it. Especially when you get to 3 and 4 and 5. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous, okay? So, not me, not at all, okay? So, that absolutely in no way would I want to do that. Before we get into the chat, I want to show you something very, very cool, okay? So, hold on 1 second. Watch out, Papa. No, don't go that way. All right. So I got a couple things into my post office box, and I wanted to share them with you. I was going to do them in another video, but I just been doing other things. These came from Nikki. Both of these things came from Nikki. So the first one, and I don't know if you guys can read that or not, one is in black and one is in white. Okay? So there's that one. That one's in white. That one is in black. And it says, Valhalla, admit one, die historic, live again. Okay? So, very, very cool. Anybody that knows me knows I'm into Norse. I like the Norse mythology. And it's like when I sit here and I drink my tea out of my awesome mug that Mountain Girl got me, how many times have I said, one day we'll be drinking this in the halls of Valhalla? So there we go. But, so thank you very much, Nikki. That is awesome. The black one's going on my leather, just so you know, because I think that's very, very cool. The second thing that she got me, which is really cool as well, and I wanted to show you this. Here's the, watch out, Bill. Here's the bag, okay? And it's Viking runes. And so I will show you some of these real quick. Well, here's the bag of them, okay, just so you guys can see. But I'll pull out a couple of these. these are very neat, and I definitely will be using these, and you will see it in a video when I do it, okay? But they're beads to go into, their metal, obviously, but they go into your beard. So just wanted to show you guys that really quickly. I thought that was very, very cool. Again, thank you very much, Nikki. I think that's awesome, and I definitely will be using them. I will put them in my beard. You'll see me. I'll do it more than once, I'm sure, in a video with them in my beard. So I think that's awesome, and thank you for doing that. Thank you for thinking of me. I just think that's really cool, because I think I'll show you. I'll show you what I plan on doing when I do it. So it'll be fun. All right, so. I did get another package in the mail, but it's a big box, and I'm going to have to do that in another video. That came from somebody else, so I will be sharing that with you at some point here soon. Okay, so last night we had a bonfire, had some neighbors over, and I had one too many cocktails last night. I was definitely feeling it, okay? And this is what I do to myself. And I always do it when I'm home. I don't have to drive. Or anything like that. So once or twice a year, I will really tie one on. And basically it's to remind myself why I don't drink a lot. And last night was that night. I was definitely moving in slow motion today. I was hurting. I was a hurting puppy. I'm not going to lie. So, it was a rough day. So I'm not 100%. I can honestly tell you I'm still not 100%. But that's why, like I said, I have to do it twice a year just to remind myself why I don't do it on a regular basis. I had fun, though. I will tell you this. I'm going to tell you what. I am a happy drunk. When I get loaded, I laugh, I joke, I just have a good time. I probably talk more than I normally do. But, that's how it goes. So, anyway. So that is that. So I wanted to share that with you. So if I'm not 100% on par tonight, that is the reason why. I'm still feeling the effects of last night. So, but anyway, all right. Again, guys, any questions? Thor size headache? Yes, a little headache, a little lethargic, not feeling up to par today. But I still got some stuff done. So But anyhow. Any questions, again, guys, all cap lock, so it stands out for me. My parental grandparents were from Norway. That's cool. Well, I have Irish, Scottish, Dutch, German, a little bit of Spanish. So I'm a true mutt, okay? English as well. So, the Norse came over, they colonized different parts of England. So there's and Scotland and all those areas too. So I don't know. I always felt more of a kinship with that. A closeness to that bond. I don't know why. I just always have. So I love that stuff. I think it's very, very cool. So, but anyway, so what are we? We're already at 9:31 in the chat, guys. I'm going to ask really quickly since we just got started here, and we'll get into talking here in a minute. Other than just me flapping away. I'm going to ask you to shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel, and thank you for doing that ahead of time. I do appreciate that. Also, it really does help with the algorithms as well. So the more interaction, positive is always better than negative, but the more interaction we have, the better it is as well. So thank you for that reason as well. Also, I like to see a lot of thumbs up, so I'm not going to lie. That's it's fun as well. So the more thumbs up we got, the better. I think with what we got going as far as a crowd already in this chat, I think we should be able to do 1,000 thumbs up today. So let's go for that goal, okay? So again, thank you for doing that. If you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe, hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Okay, so let's talk about remaining calm, keeping our heads, keeping our cool. There is a lot being pushed out on us on a daily basis. Now, I don't have television, but I remember when I did have television, just the inundation of garbage that is pushed on you on a daily basis. And I can tell you, I don't miss not having a TV. Don't miss it at all. My sister and my mom, they have the cable, so they have a TV in there. If I happen to go over and talk to them for a couple minutes, the TV's on, that's fine. And I like that. The Corn 71 says 4 eggs and 1 hangover. That's funny. We'll get to the eggs a little bit later. It's a little too early to be doing the egg count. But we're constantly being inundated between the internet, radio, TV, constantly all kinds of garbage being thrown at us all the time. And it can get very, very overwhelming, and people can get to a point. There's been a lot. Okay, so with everything that's gone on this year has been like a nightmare year. I mean, my daughter and I in January went on vacation. We came back from vacation, and it just the whole rest of the year has been just absolute insanity. All kinds of issues. People are afraid. Then you're isolated. You're locked down. You can't go anywhere. Hey, John Christopher, stand down and stand by. Stay calm and be ready. Exactly. Being calm is like this most important thing as a prepper that you can do. Panic is the enemy. Living in fear is the enemy. Okay, turn it into something positive. That's the important thing. Thank you very much for the donation, and thank you for the statement as well. The thing is, what people need to understand is a lot of what is being done, what is going on, isolation, a lot of depression, a lot of people. Think about this, okay? You have a situation where you've had a normal life, you're doing what you're doing. All of a sudden, now you're both home all the time, okay? Now you got to find out if you really like your partner or not. That's going to be a huge thing, because now all of a sudden people were together constantly. The kids were home constantly. People get bored. They need activity. They need things to do. And so they didn't have anything to do. So that was a huge issue for a lot of people. And again, alcoholism has been on the rise, because what do? You're bored, so you drink. Okay, a lot of people do. Okay, I'm just using that as an example. But alcohol sales have gone through the roof. Okay, because people are just bored, so they sit down at home and they're drinking because they got nothing else to do. Now you exacerbate that with maybe both or one of the people in the household have lost a job. There's no job to go back to. The business has been shut down. So even when things open back up again, there's no job to go back to. That's a lot more stress on a family. One of the biggest things people fight about in a marriage or relationship or whatever it may be is always monetary issues. Money always seems to be the root. They say money is the root of all evil, right? But again, if you don't have enough money to pay the bills to cover things, how are you surviving? So now people have had to make decisions. Do I pay my rent? Do I pay my mortgage? What am I going to do? How am I going to, feed the kids and do everything else? Okay. There's a lot that goes into it, And so when you look at all those different things and you throw them all on top of each other, there's going to be issues. Oh, and then let's just throw this in on top of that. Hurricanes hitting back to back in Louisiana within 6 weeks of each other, within 10 miles landfall of the same place. Forest fires all throughout the West, just burning millions of acres of land. Okay. People losing their homes, all those type of situations with that, flooding, crop loss, it compounds. Everything just compounds. So it's like, how are people dealing with that? You know what I mean? It's not easy. It is not easy. So, people that have jobs, people that are still able to work and make money and, do what they have to do, that's a good thing, and I always love the fact that, like, essential workers and non-essential workers, in my opinion, everybody's essential. If you're contributing and you're, helping out society and, by paying your taxes and taking care of your family and stuff like that, you're important. Okay. So, with them telling, like the waiters and waitresses in restaurants and the cooks, you're not essential. You have to close down. And then when they opened back up, it was just takeout for a long time. So, maybe the cooks were back in there working, but you didn't have the restaurants open. You didn't have the wait staff waiting on people. Waiters and waitresses make the majority of their money from tips. They don't get a regular wage like everybody else does. They get paid a lot less. I know and I'm going back a long, long time. So, I mean, I'm going to date myself on this one. When I was working as a waiter, our wages were $2.35 an hour, and then the rest we got from tips. Hey, Asif, next tropical system to be named ETA. Yeah, I saw that the next system was down in the Gulf again, also looking like it's going to hit Louisiana once again. You have to really feel bad for those guys, you know. But anyway, back in the day when I was working as a waiter, you could make a very nice living waiting tables, really nice living. Hey, Darko Supremacy. Hold on a second. I want to see what this person said here. Hold on. Hey, PN, do you think the surname Copland traces back to the Viking era? Or Copeland, I'm sorry. Hard to say. Hard to say. Not 100% sure. It could. You know, I mean, you could definitely get your history traced. That's really not that hard. But thank you very much for the donation, and thank you for that question. Watch Above Ground World News for weather manipulation. Yeah, there is a lot of, you know, I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, too. So, again, what's real, what's not real? I mean, I've heard, you know, everything, you know, that lasers were being used, but it was very weird. And like I said, I don't want to do a lot of conspiracy theory stuff, but I found it very interesting with different parts of California. And tell me if I'm wrong on this, okay? When they were showing different neighborhoods in California, and if you guys have seen these pictures, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. All the houses are burnt to the ground. All the trees around the houses were just perfectly fine. The roads were clear. There was nothing on the roads, but the houses were completely burnt to the ground. That didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. If you've ever seen a house fire, if there's trees near a house fire, those trees get burned up as well because that heat is so intense, it affects the trees. So I found that to be really, really interesting, that the trees would still be there, but the houses were completely destroyed and everything in these houses. So that means that the heat, the intensity of the heat was so extreme. So direct energy weapons, you know, that has, you know, been talked about. Work hard, prep harder is not a conspiracy theory. Direct energy weapons. Well, like I said, they definitely can manipulate the weather. That I know. They've been working on that since the 40s, weather manipulation. So that's not something that is any kind of big secret. They probably don't talk about what they're capable of doing today, obviously. But I believe that it is definitely something that is happening out there. But again, when you have these different things happening like that, it makes you look at things and you just kind of, you question everything so much more. And you should. Absolutely, you should. Guys, again, I'm going to ask really quickly. We're up to 1,200 people in the chat. We're at 536 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. Again, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more thumbs up we get, the better off it is. You know, as far as our rankings, it pushes us up higher. Also, I like to see a lot of thumbs up, so I'm not going to lie about that. All right. Again, I wanted to, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So what I'm going to do really quickly, because I'm going to get it out of the way so that we can go back to just talking about what's going on and how we need to be reacting. We're going to get into that too, how we need to be reacting, what we need to be doing for all this nonsense that's happening. But I want to talk about my website really, really quickly. Right now, on my website, preppreneurs1.com, we have the Legacy freeze-dried sale going right now. So if you go to my website, preppreneurs1.com, you hit store, it'll drop down, it'll say Legacy Foods. You click on that one. What we have available is there. The gluten-free meals are available. You can get one of those, you know, whatever you want to get. The only thing they don't have beef right now, and some of the breakfast, lunch, and dinner buckets are not available. But a lot of stuff is available. The shipping times are 5 to 7 days right now, so they're getting them out pretty quickly. If you do decide to make an order, when you check out, 20% off is coming when you check out. So if you want to get the long-term food storage, which I recommend that people should have as part of their preparations, obviously, you can save 20% off. It's taken off automatically when you check out. So we're doing that sale until the 8th of November. That sale is going to be running from, let's start it Friday, and it's going to run to the 8th of November. If you want to try to get your stuff in before the election, I would recommend getting your orders in as soon as possible. I will get them out as soon as I can. If you go through PayPal, the money is available immediately. I can get your orders in immediately. If you go through Authorize, they hold it for a couple days, so it'll be a couple days before I can put those orders in. Just to put it out there to let you know, okay? Also on my website, we have the Prepper Nurse One community, which is a great way to connect with like-minded people. So definitely take advantage of that too. You do have to register, but it is totally free. No credit card information is asked, and it's a great way to connect with people. You know, read the message boards. If you're looking to form a group or whatever in your state or your country, it's a good resource for that. We set that up for you guys, okay? Also, we have jdega.com on my website, which is the CBD and hemp store. They have a lot of really good products there that really do help with a myriad of things, and laundry list is way too long to go over, but it helps with pain. It helps with GERD. You can use it for your pets to help with your pets with pain and stuff like that. You know, it's good for glaucoma. It helps with that as well. So there's a lot of uses. It has a lot of things that it can be used for. So if you decide to go there, you can, again, the link is down below for jdega.com. Also on my website, if you click on the icon of the JDega logo, it will take you to their website. If you decide to make a purchase, make sure you use the discount code PrepperNurse1, and that is the number 1, not ONE, when you check out, and you'll save yourself 15%. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there as well. A couple other things really quickly, and then we'll go back to chatting. Okay, I am on social media now as well. I am on Twitter, PrepperNurse1 on Twitter. I'm posting every day on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram, PrepperNurse1 on Instagram. So join me on both of those as well if you would like. You're going to see pictures that you're not going to see in a video or a talk, okay? So I'm going to share stuff that way as well, okay? And maybe I'll have some insightful tweets. Who knows? I will not be talking about politics and stuff like that on my Twitter account. Just putting that out there. It's going to be strictly with prepping, about prepping and stuff like that, or just maybe some thoughts that I want to share, but it's going to be nothing political on that at all, okay? So just sharing that with you. Also, really last thing I want to share with you, well, there's two more things, okay, but this is the second to last. All right, the Prepper Nurse One Gators. All right, we are Legion. If you guys would put the link up in the chat so that people can go there to her website. She has a lot of other gators as well, but I'm going to tell you really quickly if I can find my folder. Where is this? Where's my folder, puppy? That's not it. Well, I can't find my folder right now, so I don't know where it is. But anyway, if you guys would put the link up there in the chat, Reese, you know what it is. If you would throw it up there for you can get it that way, okay? And so part of that goes back to support the channel as well. All right, so one more thing is the Prepper Nurse One Media. If you have questions, maybe you want to see a video suggestion and stuff like that, you can send it there, which is Prepper Nurse One. I think that's at gmail.com, I believe. Reese is going to put it up on here as well if he's in here. He should be. But anyway, so that is that. So we'll get that. That's all out of the way. Now we can go back to just talking, all right? So there's a lot going on. Obviously, the election going on right now. Very strong opinions on both sides. People are very upset. They're very passionate about what side of the aisle they're on and what they think. Where do I send you a picture of Michelle and the Gator? That you sent. Oh, Michael and the Gator that you sent him. Gene. Okay, yes. If you want, Gene, you can just send it to preppernurse1 at yahoo.com. But I think it's preppernurse1 at gmail.com is where. Okay. Reese has got it right there. Preppernurse1 media at gmail.com. Okay, so that's where you would want to send that. Thanks for putting that up there. I appreciate it. I couldn't remember, man. I'm sorry. So I love tea, by the way. So wintertime is the time that I drink tea like crazy. Summertime, I don't, not as much. But when the weather gets cold, it's nice to have something hot in you. So anyway, with everything happening with the politics and stuff like right now, obviously people are very passionate. They're very upset. They have very strong opinions, and that's fine. You can have a very strong opinion. You can think whatever you want to think, whatever side of the aisle that you're on. But unfortunately, what has happened, like, I'm going to give you a great example. My buddy Steve and I, we talk all the time. He has a completely different viewpoint than I do. I mean, very, very different viewpoint than I do. But we will have discussions, and sometimes they get heated, okay? Because he's passionate about his thoughts, and I'm passionate about my thoughts, okay? But at the end of the day, when we're done talking, we're still friends. We've been friends for over 20 years, and that's never going to change, no matter if we disagree about, whatever the case may be. It's just the way it is, and more people need to take that road instead of being there's so much hatefulness, unfortunately, with everything going on, and people are just, they're fighting with each other, and then friendships are ended, and families are ended, and people are blocking people just because their viewpoint is different from theirs. Now, I will tell you this. If somebody is inundating on Facebook, inundating their feed with just nothing but negative stuff that I don't want to see, I'll unfriend them. I've done that. Not a lot of people have done that, but it's just like they're like to the extreme, like lunacy to the extreme. And I don't want to see it. That's not what I go on Facebook for. Actually, Facebook for me, and I'm on Facebook too as Prepper Nurse 1 too, by the way, just anybody wants to know. But Facebook for me was to connect with old friends from high school, keep up on stuff like that, family, that type of stuff. That's what Facebook was always all about for me. I don't post a lot on Facebook. I'm not going to say, look, here's the sandwich that I had for lunch today. I went to this restaurant and I had this, and this is what I don't do all that crap. I'm not going to share all my personal business on Facebook either. You're never going to see that on there because that's nobody's business. Okay. It's nobody's business. So that's, be kind to each other. You can agree to disagree. I think that's such an important thing. I mean, I really do. It's so ridiculous that people get so caught up and so galvanized in their point of view. It's a manipulation and a brainwashing. And I'm going to give a great example of this. I'm going to give a great example of this because I just got this message. Started yesterday. I replied to them, and they came back with some other nonsense, okay? So they were like, oh, you fly the Confederate flag? Well, I'm out of here. So instead of saying, well, why do you fly the Confederate flag? And I've done videos about this. I'm not going to get into all the reasons that I fly the Confederate flag. Race has absolutely nothing to do with any of it, okay? Not for me. Now, if you are an individual that is so butthurt over a flag that, where's your mind at? You know what I mean? And it's because the media has told you that you need to be offended because of this flag. That's what the media has said. Oh, this is racist, and anybody that flies it is racist and all that type of stuff. It's lunacy. That is just so illogical that is unreal. Now, if let's say I was some big redneck racist and I hated black people and I flew the Confederate flag for that reason, and you came to me and you said, why do you fly the Confederate flag? And I said, well, because I hate this person or I hate that person. Then, yeah, that's why you're flying it, okay? But that's not the case. So, it just amazes me how easily triggered people are. How easily offended our society has become over words, over flags, over slogans. When you have people, and I always thought that this was interesting. I have a Trump hat, okay? I got a Trump hat that says Trump 2020. I've worn it in the city. So people, they're going to say, oh, yeah, well, you live out in the country. You'll wear it there, but you won't wear it in the city. I've worn it in the city. And guess how many people said anything to me about my hat other than, hey, I like that hat, okay? Nobody. You know why? Because I'm not a 15-year-old kid, weighs 110 pounds, and I'm not an old person that can't handle themselves. Those are the people that the triggered folks over a hat will go after. Okay? That's what they'll go after. They're not going to come after me. They're not going to try to do anything to me because they haven't got the stones to do it. Okay? Oh, unless, let me just rephrase it. Unless they got a crowd of 20. Now, if they got a crowd of 20 of them, then they're tough guys. It's so ridiculous. It amazes me how triggered people are, how easily offended they are. We need to get past that nonsense. And what the most of the people don't understand, it's all the manipulation that is being done through the media, and everything like that right now. That's where 90% of this nonsense is coming from. Okay, 90% of it is coming from that. It's unfortunate. Okay. And now, like I said, and now, like everybody's on the big bandwagon that they hate the police. Okay. I'm going to tell you what. The less interaction that I can have with the police, the better off I want to, for me personally. Okay. Because it's like, they have a job to do. If I'm not breaking the law, if I'm not out there doing stupid stuff, then I really don't have anything to worry about as far as I'm concerned. Okay. I have been pulled over numerous times, especially since I moved out here. Okay. I've been pulled over more times out here in 6 years than I got pulled over the last 20 years living in the Rochester area. It is what it is. I look a certain way. I dress a certain way. If I'm on my bike, on my Harley, you are profiled. You are, you look a certain way. They're thinking you're up to something. But again, as long as you're a decent person, no issues. No issues. You know what I mean? You be polite. You don't have to like it that you got pulled over. You don't have to like it that you're going to get a speeding ticket if you were speeding. But if there's an issue, like one of the times I got pulled over, I was on my way to work. This is several years ago, before I retired, and I had my uniform on. I worked nights. Always worked nights for years and years and years. And I went by an area, and I'm going to tell you, once you live out in an area long enough, you know where the cops sit. You know where they sit. So you just don't do stupid stuff where you know where they're going to be. So I'm driving, and it goes to a 40-mile-an-hour zone by the prison. Union Mike 108, social media like Facebook have allowed people to be keyboard gangsters and live in an isolated world, losing the ability to hear the other side. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Great statement, and thank you very much for the donation as well. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying, so I'm doing 40 miles an hour. There was the cop in the spot where they like to sit. Now, they're not always there, but they're there a lot. He pulls out and he pulls me over. And I'm thinking, what's he pulling me over for, right? So he pulls me over and he comes up to the car and he says, do you know why I pulled you over? And I said, well, I know I wasn't speeding. He said, nope, you weren't speeding. He goes, you have a headlight out. And I literally 2 weeks before had gotten the other headlight fixed. So I'm like, no way. So I put it in park. I get out of the car and I go in the front. I'm like, I had no idea. And he saw that I was in uniform. I worked for the county at that point in time. And, that I was a nurse. And he said, where are you headed? And I said, I'm headed to work. He said, all right, well, man. He says, we both work for the county. He said, it was a sheriff. He said, we both work for the county. He says, get this taken care of, and just take care of that. And I said, it'll be done tomorrow. And I said, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But again, I didn't give him attitude. I wasn't a jerk. When he told me I had a headlight, I really did not believe him. I'm like, really? And I got out. I had to look for myself. But again, I was never threatening to the cop. I didn't cop an attitude. It's all your approach. It's all your approach. Everybody has seen the videos on YouTube where these guys act like idiots, and you have to deal with the harassment. Why? It just makes no sense to do that. You might be in the right. You might be 100% in the right. But if you act like a jerk, they're going to ruin your day. That's a fact. So that's just me. That's something I learned a long time ago. Don't screw with the police. Be polite. You don't have to like it. Does that make me, a bootlicker or whatever? I've been called that by people on here. I could care less. You think whatever you want. I also as well. So, I've done some runs this year. Shadow said, I got stuck due to the color of my car, and he pulled his gun coming home from church. No national news coverage, no anger. He was doing his job. There you go. Great statement. Yeah, and again, once they realize that there's not an issue with you, they're not smelling marijuana coming out of your car. You're not sitting there with, your loaded AR-15 in the front seat on your way to go shoot somebody up. It can go very well for you. But again, it's how you approach it. It's how you deal with it. And that's what I always feel. So John said, I always replace both headlights when one goes out. I had the same thing happen multiple times. Yeah, you know what? And it's probably a smart way of doing it. I just hadn't done it at that point, and I couldn't believe that, I was getting pulled over for that. So, but it happens. But again, with every situation that is going on now, everything from being pulled over by the police, whatever the case may be, here's the one thing I want to explain to people, and I think people don't always take this into consideration. Every one of you out there, everybody watching, myself included, we're all going through something right now. Something that is upsetting, something that we don't like. It may not be with us individually, but it could be a family member. It could be, somebody that we care about. There's something going on in our lives that is upsetting us right now. And it could be very easily wrong place, right time, a trigger mechanism, and you can flip your lid. Okay. And that doesn't mean you're going to shoot nobody up. I'm saying, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. Everybody's going through something. So when I go out in public, I try to take into consideration if somebody's being a jerk, just a jerk, I may say something, but I try to do it in a way that is not attacking. If you put somebody on the defensive, like somebody's acting like a complete jerk, okay, complete jerk. And if you look at them and you go, why are you acting that way? I haven't done anything to you. That puts them on the defensive, and that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody to come back and be nasty back, and for who knows what reason. It just, to me, like I said, it's a complete waste of time. But if you put somebody on the defensive and say to them, why are you acting this way? This doesn't make any sense. This is not how you should be acting. And people really, then it makes them think too. And that's the other thing. You want to keep people thinking. I've been in situations where I have distracted somebody that else was being attacked. Hey, Glenn Zimmerman, generally, you're only offended when you want to be. Exactly. That, I like that statement. That's awesome. You're right. And that's so true. You're only offended when you want to be. And it's like, maybe something happens 10 times and it doesn't bother you at all. For whatever reason, that 11th time, you're just having that kind of day. We all have them. Everybody has those kind of days. I have them. I'm not going to lie. I've had days where, with Mom and Beck here and stuff like that, and they just kind of knew, leave me alone. If I'm in that kind of mood, I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to talk to nobody, so they're really good about that. Did you hear that the Chinese military training in Canada? Do you know if this is true? You know what? Again, I talked about that before, and thank you for the question. I appreciate it. Maybe you didn't hear that when we were talking about it. There's no threat with China on the Canadian border, okay? Chinese troops are probably up in Canada. There's Chinese troops probably in the United States someplace as well. Joint training happens all the time. But there's, there was the whole talk of, there's 100,000 Chinese at the American border. No, okay? China's not attacking America through Canada, okay? It's not going to happen. So, Chinese troops are looking at Alaska. Now, they'll be cold if they go to Alaska. Again, it's just, a lot of it is scare tactics, keep you in fear. There's a channel out there, and I won't say which one it is, but I have somebody that sends me a ton of information all the time, and they send me a ton of information from this gentleman's channel. And I said to her, maybe you shouldn't watch him, because it's nothing but fear porn constantly. Everything, every show is fear porn. This is the end of the world. That's the end of the world. This is the threat. That's the threat. That can get into your head. It absolutely can get into your head, okay? And it can psychologically mess you up if you let it. Again, I would encourage people at times to, Ed, I heard that China owns a small town here in Iowa. I'm not sure if that's true or not. There's a lot of Chinese companies in the United States, guys. A lot of Chinese companies, they've had the money, they buy stuff up. It happens all the time. You know, we owe China so much money, it is ridiculous. So, you know, again, that would it shock me? No, it wouldn't shock me at all. But, you know, we're not having armed in Chinese camps in the United States where they're setting up shop. That's not happening. That's not going to happen. We're not going to allow that to happen. So now, here's the thing, too, I want you to think about. Are there infiltrators in this country from other, you know, foreign governments that want to do harm to the United States? I'm sure that there are. Absolutely there are. They've come in, they integrated themselves into the communities and stuff like that. Sleeper cells. You know, everybody's heard that before. Yeah, sleepers. The Russians did it back in the Cold War. They sent people over here to pretend to be Americans, and they settled in and, you know, and did the thing. And then it's like, you know, if there was a war between us and Russia at the time, they would have been activated. It happens. We do it too. So let's not pretend like the United States is some innocent flower. We do the same thing. We push our will all over the world. I mean, that's what we do. You know, our influence is very, very strong all over the world. So that's something to think about as well. Real quick again, guys, we're at 1.3 in the chat. We're at 777 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to do that to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. I do appreciate that. It really does, you know, and also it really does help with the algorithms as well. So the more interaction we get, the better off we are. Shadow just had a thing here. Hold on. Why do they need to attack the USA? We are tearing ourselves apart on our own. They would just sit back and sweep us up later. Exactly. That's a great statement. They don't have to do anything because we're going to do it to ourselves. And everything is happening that way is all manipulation anyway. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to also subscribe as well. So let's do the egg count right now really quickly. But yeah, we are destroying ourselves. And they're sitting back, you know, in the foreign enemies of this country, and they're just laughing because that's the only way America's going to go down. We're going to go down just like Rome went down. Years and years of fighting. And also, hold on a second. I'm going to give you guys a minute to get your guesses up here. All right, I'll give you guys a minute here. If you had the same guess as Yarn Prepper, who had 4, then you were correct. We actually had 4 eggs today. So I was really happy, especially when we got like none the other day. When we did Friday's stream, we had none. Yesterday, what did we end up with yesterday? 1, I think. I think I was 1 yesterday. So we ended up with 4 today. So, but again, all the birds are molting. So those of you that don't know, they're growing new feathers, which takes up a lot of energy. So they're not laying because they're using that energy to grow those new feathers out, being ready for winter. Okay. Also, with the weather being the way it has been, very overcast, not as much sunshine, that makes a difference as well. So, you know, in the wintertime, production goes down. It's what happens. You know, people have said, well, put in artificial. Hold on a second. I wanted to read this to you guys. Hold on. Where is that? Yeah, the Corn 71. When you said 4 eggs and 1 hangover, you were correct. Yes, you were. I was thinking about that when you said that. I'm like, he's right on it. He's right on it. He had it right. Yep. So there you go. That was pretty funny. Yeah, so they, like I said, you know, they're going to lay what they're going to lay. It is what it is. So, you know, I'm not going to put artificial light in there, force them to lay more eggs. If they need that energy to keep warm, and, you know, and do that type of stuff, that's what they need to do. So, yeah, egg salad sandwiches are awesome. Yep. So, so anyway, but yeah, you know, it's like we need to decompress. We need to step away sometimes. I know, like for myself, I'll get into an activity that I'm doing around the house here. I don't think about anything else. I just think about that task at hand. Like, you know, when we did the concrete and getting the solar rack lined up and getting everything squared away with that, That was my focus that day. We needed to get that done. Hey, Asif, next Sunday we will have 8 eggs. Let's hope so. That would be awesome. I'd like to see it getting back up again because I like to give eggs away too, and I kind of had to say can't do it right now because they're not laying enough. They're laying enough for our own use, but not to be able to give to anybody else. And Mom and Becky actually had to go out and buy eggs the other day, so that's what happens. Give them more protein, fermented grain. Yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to force the birds. The birds are going to do what they're going to do. So I'm not relying on their egg production for any kind of living or anything like that. So if they get it, great. If they lay, fantastic. If they don't, it's okay. It just means I can't give as many eggs away. That's all that means. So it's just that's how it works. But so anyway, again, give yourselves activities so that you can focus on activities and not be thinking of all this other nonsense that we're being just slammed with. Literally every time you turn a phone on, you have, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. A lot of that is, not Instagram so much because that's more pictures, but Twitter, just you're getting bombarded with stuff constantly. This person has this agenda, this person has that agenda. They want to try to keep you in that mindset. And I think it's sad. It really is. So again, anytime that we can, that's all you've got. I don't know what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah, I think you're talking about the eggs. Yeah, that's, that happens sometimes. Hey, Pamela Sherry, self-employed 30 years. If Biden wins by theft or vote, I will close permanently and go as far off the tax grid as I can. Well, you know what? I have my concerns if Biden wins. I'll be honest with you as well. And thank you for the statement, and thank you very much for the donation. Obviously, I'm not pulling for Biden. He's been in politics for 47 years, tons of corruption. If you guys can't see the corruption, then you need to keep your rose-colored glasses on. The creepy stuff he does with smelling little girls and stuff like that. I'm sorry, but you know what? Just for no other reason, if he was a stellar, upstanding politician, just for that reason alone, I wouldn't vote for him. Okay? So, yeah, again, Trump is very crass. He says it like it is. But I think that's why a lot of people like him. Because he just says it like it is and he doesn't care. If it hurts your feelings, he doesn't care. Okay? I think he's done a lot to try to help this country. I really do. That's my opinion. Okay? You may have a different opinion. That's fine. And here's the best part. I respect your opinion. You can think whatever you want. Okay? Doesn't make you right, me wrong, or whatever the case may be. But I think, and again, if Biden wins, my prediction, with inside of 1 year, Carmela will be, or I don't know how to say her name, Harris, I'll just say Harris, would be the president because they'll get rid of Joe. Okay? Either medically, him becoming incompetent, whatever the case may be. So that's my prediction if that ticket wins. I hope they don't. I'll be honest with you. I hope Trump gets reelected. I said it. There you are. You know where I stand. It does, like I said, I don't, you can have your right to believe whatever you want. That's great. And I respect that. That's my thought process. You have to look, and this is my opinion as well. You look at the lesser of two evils. And what can we all do is get to the polls just this one time. I think 62% tax hikes across the board if Biden wins. And again, Biden has come out and said he's going to get away from fossil fuels and stuff like that, okay? Livestock plans for the homestead. Are you going to stock the pond soil, great for gardens, Deep South Homestead, build 2 ponds this year? Yes, I do plan. Thank you very much for the donation, and thank you for the question. I do plan on having goats down the road. I will have more chickens. I'm going to definitely be rotating chickens out this next year. Some of my girls are getting older, so they need to go to freezer camp. So that's what's going to happen with some of them. I do, like I said, I would like to get meat rabbits as well, because the hides can be used for a lot of different things as well. You can make a lot of cool stuff with the hides, and then you have plenty of meat that way as well. But yeah, and he said he's been open about a shutdown. Right. Biden said he's going to force you to wear a mask, do another shutdown. He's going to go away from fossil fuels. We've become independent. We've become an exporter of oil instead of an importer of oil. What happens is if they shut down fossil fuels and stop that production in the United States, and think about this, okay? We're not even talking about the job losses. The job losses would be tremendous, okay? But the problem would be we would be having to get oil from countries that hate us once again. Does that make any kind of sense? It doesn't. So again, you have to look at the lesser of two evils, and so that's where I stand with that. And like I said, I'd feed the chickens worm oats. It will help them in the egg laying. Boil oats on the wood stove. Okay, yeah, I can. I'll definitely do that. Give them something different. That would be cool. Thank you for that suggestion. I appreciate that. And that was from. Hold on a second, so I make sure I say. Frank Spees just said that. I will definitely do that. I will boil up some oats for them and give that to them. So that they love when I give them something. They go crazy. Michelle P says it's a law here to wear a mask. How many do you see not wearing them? Going to have military. Where are you at that it's the law that you have to have a mask on? Because I know in New York, okay, and I'm going to say they recommend that you wear the mask, but if you can social distance and be at least 6 feet away, you don't have to wear the mask. So that's what they do here. Oh, New York City? Okay, yep. So Michelle's in New York City, yeah, because I'm upstate New York, so we don't have to do it here. I don't wear a mask. I've talked about that before, so that's it's not anything that none of you already didn't know. What do I feed my dogs? The dogs get regular dog food. They get a lot of scraps. They get treats. They're very spoiled. They're not starving. And I do have food put up for both my dogs and my cats. I keep, 150 pounds of dog food on hand as a backup, plus whatever bag I'm using, and I just rotate through. And then it's pretty much the same thing, but the cat bags are like 38-pound bags. So I always have all those as well. So I always have 3 put aside, and then I have whatever one that I'm using at the moment. So that's the way I do that. I have raised snow bunnies years ago, so meat rabbits are new to me. Yeah, they're very lean, so there's not a lot of fat on a rabbit. Okay, so that's one thing that people need to remember. That okay, so you're not going to get a ton of fat off that rabbit. So we have to have our fats. That's important. That's part of our diet. So again, when I talked the other day and I was talking about things in a can, you can get cheese in a can. You can get, what was the other one? It's a high fat protein, like duck with all the fat with the ducks. There's a lot of different things that you can get in a can that's going to have that high fat protein or fat content. And we need to have that. We really need to have that. So look for those type of things. Lard, having that you can cook with and stuff like that. That's not a bad thing either. It's just really important. Let's see. Hey, David Swan. The Great Reset is the cover of November. Hold on a second. November Time magazine. Look it up. If you haven't already. UN Agenda 2030. WEF. Horrifying stuff. They literally said you will own nothing and you'll be happy. That's crazy. Yeah. No. That's. I'm going to tell you what, Americans. Thank you very much for the donation and thank you for that statement. I've heard the talk about the reset and talking about a digital currency. Okay, that is not going to be beneficial to any of us in any way, shape, or form. That is complete and utter control, and that's what they want. If we give into that, then they win. Then they absolutely win. I've worked way too hard. In my life to get what I got, to let them come and just take it because they want it. No. you know, um, it's crazy. What this with everything this year, with the stuff that has gone on, and how basically as Americans we have laid down and said, okay, we'll do what you say. Think about that. Think about that. Okay, they work for us. We don't work for them. We don't do as they tell us because they're the powers that be in charge. I want you to think about something really quickly. The people that are telling us that we need to get this flu shot, that we need to get this COVID shot when it comes out for our own good, for our own protection. These are the same people, okay, and I want you to think about this, guys. These are the same people that put fluoride in our water, okay, which is not good for you, doesn't help you, okay. These are the same people that are spraying all this crap, Monsanto's and all this type of stuff, and poisoning our food. And that's why I've always encouraged you to grow as much of your own stuff as you possibly can, because it's going to be better for you because you know where it came from, okay? So these are the same people that are doing that. These are the, I could go on and on and on. They do so many things that are not beneficial. These are the same people that have so many shots for our children. Okay. I was looking at something, sorry. So many shots for our children that the autism rate has skyrocketed in this country. But that's for our own good too, okay? These are the people telling us what we need to do for our own benefit. No, I don't trust them. I never will trust them. And also remember this. A lot of people are talking about the fact that forced vaccinations are going to force everybody to get the COVID shot. Only 40% of the people have said that they will willingly get a COVID shot. Think about that. So 60% of the people in this country have said, yeah, no, I'm not doing it. And a lot of it is safety concerns because they don't know how safe it really truly is. So that is a big concern. It's a big concern. So that's something that people need to think about as well, okay? Just be smart. Think for yourselves. You know what I mean? Continue to prep. Continue to get ready. We don't know what's going to happen. I can't say. I've had people. I had somebody made a comment the other day, and I replied to it. And they said, "Well, what are you getting ready for? You're getting ready for this. You're getting ready for that. You're getting ready for whatever." And I replied, and I said, "I get ready for whatever, because there's no okay." So Doomsday Preppers, right? Anybody that's watched Doomsday Preppers back in the day when it was on a lot, and they would have these people, and they say, "I'm getting ready for X, Y, or Z." Now, right off the bat, what would happen was if you agreed to be on that show, you had to pick something that you were preparing for. Why? Because at the end of the show, they could dismiss you as a lunatic by saying, well, the probability of Yellowstone going off in our lifetime is, 0. Blah, blah, blah %. So basically it makes you look like you're a lunatic, that you're getting ready for the Yellowstone event. But it's not always that you're not getting ready for just the Yellowstone event. I would never be on those shows because I would get on there and I would say, I prepare for whatever is going to happen because we don't know what that is going to be. Okay. That's why most of us who prep, that's why we prep. We prep for whatever is going to happen. And again, and I've talked about this before, SHTF can be something that affects your family directly. Loss of a job, the main breadwinner dying, okay, or become sick and incapacitated and they can't work anymore. Those are SHTF events that happen, okay? Hey, Pamela Sherry, as far as this virus, it's not a virus, it's a biological warfare. Immunizations won't really help unless vaccines are biologically modifying our genetic makeup. We should be trying to remove it from the atmosphere. Thank you very much for the statement. Thank you very much also for the donation. And you're right, it is biological warfare. It has been proven that it is a man-made thing that came out of that lab in Wuhan, China. So I agree with that 100%. It's a game. And it's another manipulation that they're trying to do. They want to reduce the population. That is the ultimate goal, is to reduce the population. And they are going to do it in any way, shape, or form that they can do it. That's what they're going to do. It's like everybody, it's like with the whole presidential election and everything that's going on with that, and we had a booming economy. Our economy was doing great before COVID. People were working, people were out spending money. Unemployment numbers were way, way down, historically low in the Black and Hispanic communities as well, But of course, everything that you see, here's okay. So here's the thing. I just saw this one, and this is what I thought was crazy. This is how crazy things are. So the president was giving a speech, and somebody that was standing behind him in the crowd did this. Ooh, did the okay symbol, right? That is a thing that is normally done by white supremacists. It's ridiculous. No, it means okay, morons. Okay? This is not a white supremacist symbol. This is called okay. It blows me away that they're going to take somebody standing back in the crowd behind the president that did okay. Oh, it's a white supremacist thing because, we got to worry about the white supremacists because the white supremacists are the one going and burning down cities and looting and rioting and pulling people out of cars and beating them up. It's not Antifa. It's not, we don't need to be worried about Antifa. We don't need to be worried about BLM. No, we can't work. No, it's the white supremacists that you need to be worried about. Come on. Really? Amazing. And people buy it. They jump in both feet and go, yes. Oh my God, the horrible white people, the horrible white supremacist. You know what? It's ridiculous. Again, I've said this before, and I'll say it many, many times. You can think of me whatever you want to think of me. I take everybody on an individual basis. If you are cool with me, I'm going to be cool with you. If you're a jerk, I don't care what color you are. I don't want nothing to do with you. Okay? So, a-holes come in all colors. So remember that. And I have met some awesome people through my life. And, some of them were Black. Some of them were Hispanic. Some of them were Asian. And guess what? I didn't look at them like, oh, I have Black friends. No, this is my friend Charlie. You know what I mean? It just amazes me. It amazes me. It really, truly does. But it's unfortunate how things are. It really are. It's the media continues to perpetuate it. They want us to hate each other. Guess what? I choose not to. If you choose to hate me because I have my head shaved, I've been shaving my head. My kids have never seen me with hair. I started shaving my head almost 19 years ago. And I'll never grow it back. If I could grow it back, I wouldn't do it. If there was some magic pill that tomorrow that my thinning hair through here would automatically, magically come back, I wouldn't grow my hair back. I like being bald. It's low maintenance. I wake up in the morning and, man, my hair is done. So, Michelle Howell said, white supremacists are less than 1/100,000th of the population. Yeah, it's so small. It's like ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But it's okay for thousands of people, thousands upon thousands of people to go into the street, be upset because somebody they didn't know who was a criminal that was killed by the police. Oh my God, that's horrible. And we're going to burn everything down and kill people and kill the police and stuff like that. But that's okay. That's okay. Makes no sense to me. No sense whatsoever. It is what it is though, guys. So, we have to look at it, realize it's a manipulation, and not play into the game. That's the biggest key, in my opinion. Guys, what are we? 1.2 in the chat right now. We're at 940 on the thumbs up. I said 1,000 at the start of the show. We can blow that out. We could hit 1,100 if we really try. We got 18 more minutes of the stream. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to do that, please, to show support for the channel. And thank you for doing that ahead of time. We got to hit 1,100. That's got to be the goal for tonight. We've got to get 1,100 thumbs up. So we need 100. Well, now we're, 100 and about 25 away. Again, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, the better as well. So again, I would ask you to do a thumbs up for that reason. The third reason, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. I'm not going to lie. So I would ask you to do it for that reason as well. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Please hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time for that. So now we're at 1,000 thumbs up. we got to get at least another 100 more. So again, thank you guys. I appreciate you showing the support. It really does mean a lot. This is a great channel. And when I say that, it's because of you guys. That's why it's a great channel. We have awesome talks. People ask great questions. Let's see what this person said. Will Biden give illegal people free health care? You know what? I don't know. I have no idea what is in store. I know that he was talking about giving the Dreamers, I believe it was, citizenship. Again, my problem with a lot of it is if you came into this country the wrong way, why are you getting rewarded for that? That's what I have a problem with, But anyway, I love the interaction that we have on this channel, guys. You guys ask great questions. It really makes it entertaining, and again, because we can keep the chat clean with, the moderators who do just an absolutely fantastic job. It makes all the difference in the world. It really does. Look-alike contest for Halloween. Oh, my God. That would be funny. That would actually be funny. Prepper Nurse 1 look-alike contest, huh? Hey, Shadow, how many working people, black, lost their jobs and businesses due to looting and fires? Are they getting help from the BLM and Antifa? You know what? And that's a great statement, Shadow. I'm glad that you did that. And you're right. How many of those people stood there? And there's videotape of it. And the guy's like, you're destroying my business. I'm a black store owner, and you looted and burned my business. How is that helping? And that's it. Just goes to show you how bad the lunacy is. It's sad. It's absolutely sad. It doesn't help at all. There's ways to do things. And again, if you want to protest and you want to go out on the street and protest and do that, knock yourself out. Do what you got to do. But how does it help when you burn things down, when you loot and you steal everything out of stores? That doesn't help. Okay? When you pull people out of cars because they're a different color than you, that doesn't help. But when you have, and this is what kills me, and then when you have people in small towns that say, I've had enough, I'm not putting up with this crap, because BLM or whoever and Antifa are coming in and they're going to protest in their town, and they come out and they show up armed. White supremacists. No, it's average American citizens that are not going to tolerate nonsense. Again, somebody had asked me, will that happen out where I live? No, it's not going to happen out here because we're not going to tolerate it. You're not going to come out here in the country this far out and think you're going to loot, burn, and stuff like that. You're going to get shot if you do that out in the country. And you know what the best part is, guys? BLM and Antifa can talk all the talk that they want to talk. They know it too. That's why they don't do it. That's why they don't come out here and pull that nonsense, because they know what'll happen to them. And I don't care if the cameras were sitting there rolling or not. Okay, So yeah, that's just. But again, with everything going on, let's take a deep breath. Let's try to relax. Try to distract yourselves for periods of time during the day if you can. Do an activity, whatever, a project, whatever project you're trying to work on, whatever you're trying to get done. Work on that. Do that. And I'm going to tell you what, it really does make a difference, and it really does help to step away. I mean, you're always going to come back. There's going to be more stuff going on. You're going to see the news is coming on. And obviously, when I used to watch the news, I used to call it the death news, because it was never anything positive. It was always something negative, because that's what sells, which is sad. And it shouldn't be that way. But unfortunately, that is the way it is. So I want to remind everybody, because now we got probably people that weren't in the stream earlier. I have my sale going on right now on my website, preppernurse1.com, for the freeze-dried food, the legacy freeze-dried food. It is 20% off when you check out. It takes it off automatically. If you are looking to add to your long-term food storage, now is a good time to do it, especially before the election. Hopefully you get your stuff before the election happens, because that's coming up, the 3rd of November. Again, a good time to do that. Get that stuff now if you can. GMO free. It's made in the United States. It is the largest portion size of any of the other freeze-dried food companies. And it's really good. I've done a lot of reviews on it. I got to put a playlist together one of these days, and I will do all those reviews that I did for the legacy stuff, and I'll put it on a playlist. I got to get other playlists up as well. Those are going to be winter projects for this winter, but definitely take advantage of that. The sale is going to be running until the 8th of November, okay? But if you have your concerns and you want to add to your long-term food storage, Legacy Foods is a good one to pick, okay? So definitely preppernurse1.com. You go there, you click on store, it drops down. You will see, Legacy Foods. You click on that. What they have there is available. 20% will be taken off automatically at checkout. Again, if you go through PayPal and you pay through PayPal, I can put your orders in right away, okay? Which means you'll get your food quicker. If you go through Authorize, they hold on to that money for a couple days before it goes into my account, and then I can put your order in. Just letting you know what your options are, okay? So just sharing that with you. But so let us do this right now. Toilet paper prices in your area. You know what? I don't know, to be honest with you. I haven't bought toilet paper in a while. I have so much toilet paper, and I added more. And then after, like when the whole toilet paper run happened, I had plenty. I wasn't running out of toilet paper. So, and then, once it came back in stock, I bought more again. So, and then Margie's brought down, Kleenex, toilet paper, paper towels, got a lot of that stuff too, that she had brought down as well. So again, it would be something that we would all collectively use. The people in my group that are coming, they're going to be able to use my toilet paper. It's not like I'm going to walk around with a roll of toilet paper and go, no, this is my toilet paper. It's for the people that are going to be here. But no, I have no idea what the prices are. No idea. Yep, I bought it all before. It's funny. So here, I got to tell you this. You'll get a kick out of this one. So we're going to do We Are Legion in a minute, guys. I'm sorry. We'll get to that in a second. But here's what I think is funny. So Mom and Beck will say to me, well, do you have this? And I'll go, of course I have that. I'm a prepper. I have more than one of that. So I'll get what they need and I'll give it to them. That's what you do. As a prepper, you don't have one because one is none and two is one. You have many of whatever you need. So that's always, I always thought that was funny. But they'll come to me, do you have this? Well, of course I have that, So that's kind of funny. Okay, so We Are Legion. We are Legion because we are many. We're all over this country. We're a huge network of people. Where is everybody from tonight? Let's see. Ontario, Canada. Melbourne, Australia. Eastern Kentucky. Beech Grove, Indiana. Afton, New York. Montreal, Canada. Maryland. BC, Canada. Miami. Las Vegas, Chicago Town. Long Island, New York. Southwest Ontario, Canada. Cape Cod, very nice. East Central Illinois, Michigan, Minnesota, Southern Oklahoma, Phoenix, Arizona, Washington, Hillsborough, New Hampshire, Mesa, Arizona. We have Georgia, Louisville, Kentucky, Nashville, Tennessee, Maryland, Bull's Head City, Arizona, Turkey, Texas, New Zealand, California, Nebraska, Rochester. Lived there many years. So Callaway, Maryland, Detroit, Michigan, Missouri, Kansas. We have Northeast Ohio, Northeast Georgia, Nowhere, Oklahoma, Alabama, Upper Peninsula in Michigan, very nice, the UP, Oregon. I know you do it that way because I always say it wrong. I call Oregon, but it's Oregon. I apologize. Let's see, Anderson, South Carolina, the Adirondacks, Colorado, Scotland, very nice, Alabama, Dublin, Ohio, Iowa, Arkansas, North Carolina, Montana, Georgia, Connecticut, Northeast Georgia, Ulster Park, New York, Houston, Texas, Reno, Nevada, Valley of Fire, Nevada, Gatlin, Pennsylvania, Mississippi, Michigan in the house, very nice, Virginia, New Hampshire, Washington State. We have Germantown, Maryland, Hollywood, Florida, Southern Oregon, Dallas, Texas, Port Hope, Ontario. I think that's up in Canada. Iowa, Troy, Vermont, Louisville or Louisiana, South Carolina, Low Country. So again, guys, we're absolutely all over the place. I mean, there's a lot of different places today that we were talking that we hadn't said before. So we're all over the U.S., all over Canada, all over the world. We're a huge network. We're a huge family. If we work together, I'm telling you, there would absolutely be no stopping us. We got a lot more power than you think. They would be afraid of us if we worked together and said, we've had enough of this nonsense. And I'm going to tell you what, every day more and more people are waking up every day. And that's an awesome thing. It's a great thing. So here we are, 1 minute and 15 seconds or 1 hour and 15 minutes into the stream. What I did differently today, which I will not say what it was, hopefully that's going to make a difference. I'm going to continue to do it this way until we have some interruptions again. Then I'll know that it wasn't. But I think I figured out what may have been the problem, okay? So this actually has been an awesome stream. We've got it in one take, which is absolutely fantastic, especially with everything that have been happening. So we'll hopefully keep this trend up. I would rather do it in one take, get it in here so that we can all just enjoy the chat and have a great conversation with each other. And I think that's important. So it's really cool that it's doing that. I'm going to ask again, because I got to see 1,100 on the thumbs up, okay? We got 1,000 people in the chat. We got 1,000 thumbs up so far. We got to hit 1,100 on the thumbs up just because. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet to show support for the channel, I would ask you to do that, please. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction we have, it pushes you higher up in YouTube land when they put it out there. And there we go. We hit it. Oh, that's awesome. And I would also ask, because I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So we haven't had 1,000 thumbs up in a while, and then we're at 1,100 now. So that is awesome. So thank you guys for that as well. I appreciate that. If you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time for doing that as well. Anyway, again, my moderators are absolutely the best. They keep the chat clean, which I think is really important. So thank you guys and ladies, obviously, gentlemen and ladies, for what you do. It really means a lot to me that you're here show after show, showing your support, and you guys are fantastic. So thank you for doing that and keeping the chat clean. So thank you guys. I appreciate that. Remember, guys, and this is important. And I'm going to say this one first, of course. We are all in this together. We're all in this together because we're one race called the human race. We have to stop letting them manipulate us. We have to stop having them getting us to fight each other over race and religion. We are one race called the human race. When we can get past the BS and focus on that, we're going to be much, much better off, okay? Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Because, again, we just never know, okay? Also remember STD, step, thing, and day. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. I am the perfect example of following my own mantra, okay? Everything that we've got done this year, we've worked at things methodically. We work in getting it done, okay? We set goals. We did them. Got more done than that I thought. I never expected to even put raised beds in this year, and we got that done as well. So it has been awesome. But again, it's following that mantra. Work at things every day, and things get done. It is amazing how it works. You can use that in your life. You can use that for prepping and trying to be off grid if that's what you're looking to do. But even whatever your goals are, whatever you're trying to accomplish in life, if you follow that mantra, step, thing, and day, and you work at it methodically, you can accomplish anything that you want to accomplish, and nobody can stop you except for one person, and that's you. You're the only one that can stop you from doing that. Work hard, don't quit, and you're going to be just fine. Hey, Shadow, slip sliding away takes on a new meaning. It's winter in Oklahoma. Ice. Yeah, it sure does. When it's there, it'll be the same way here. It'll be the same way here. Thank you again for the donation. I do appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for being here. You guys are awesome. I do appreciate all the support as well. You guys are just fantastic. Love the questions. Love the interaction. It's great. It just works out fantastically, and it makes it all come together. This time, again, like no interruption tonight, which was great. hour and 20 minutes gone in a blink of an eye like that. It's amazing how fast it goes. So again, that's pretty cool. So anyway, guys, have a great night. I will see you all tomorrow. I think we're supposed to get rain all day tomorrow, so I'm going to be back in the shop doing a couple things in there, and I will show you that as well. Okay? So anyway, have a great night. I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.